Greetings, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. Welcome to Huna Flash TV. It's an honor to be here with our special guests. And if you have questions, we'll do our best to answer them. This is live and interactive. Huna Flash TV at the House of Huna. Welcome to you all. And we look forward to being with you here. Enjoy. All right, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds, welcome, wawa to you all. You know what wawa means much love, much aloha. In the Lemurian, it is wawa, okay? What a fantastic day. Got an incredible guest, and perhaps best to say a friend of mine, a good friend. We've become good friends over this past year. In fact, it may have been a couple of years now, and want to share a little bit about the omnipresence or sharing about the omnipresence of the continuum, meaning being everywhere at once. And it is a cycle, a continuous cycle, but it's not a loop. Okay, it's not a loop. It's an open spiral, ever ascending, counterclockwise, okay? It's an open loop, continuum. Continue to discover yourself, to continue to forget yourself, thereby continuing to remember yourself once again. Okay, so an omnipresence of that whole feeling, really. So let me just bring on my good friend onto the screen here. If you would like to pop right in there. There is Mr. Mark Attwood.
Hello.
Owner of the meat suit. Yes?
Well, yes, could call it that.
I'm wearing my shiny glasses today, brother.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's his eyes. I knew you had some.
I've got eyes. There's eyes behind you. I'm wearing glasses just in case I put you in a trance, you see. Not look at my eyes, so I might put you in a trance. I don't want to have a accidental trance thing happen.
Well, it's happened before. Wow.
Thank you so much, Mark, for being here. And so that's kind of what I've been talking about, is being everywhere and it being continuous, meaning we've done this before. We're going to continue with this being everywhere. Now, as I understand the continuum, it's a spiral like the infinity, which is open. So rather than cycling in a closed loop and going through reincarnation words, I don't use these words, reincarnations, although we speak about them. I just don't really program that. I undo that by offering these words that I share that are kind of vague anyway. People say, what's he talking about? What the heck's an omnipresent continuum? A discovery of the self only to forget the self again and rediscover oneself all over and over again. Like, is it education? Is it the experience? Wow. Let's just kind of chat about that. Let's begin by welcoming Huna Tamaake there. Thank you, Tamaake, for your technical experience. She's right here in the other room, and been working closely together in Mexico for a minute. Also, let me just welcome all of the sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. That's how I address everybody, Mark. Sweet dear ones. Mm-hmm. Sweet dear ones here. They're from, and I understand also, Huna Maro Wawa. Okay, it's his birthday today. I understand.
Happy birthday!
And so he's Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Native American, native of Turtle Island, and so his birthday today. So we sent out a huge happy fry bread day to him. Okay, and I hope you do have a good fry bread today with candle and some cream on that.
There he is.
Where is he? There he is.
He's there in the chat.
He's in the chat. There he is. Yes. Wawa Nui Huna, and yes, Huna around the globe for sure, for reals. That's what we're talking about. Omnipresent, ubiquitous. So welcome to the sweet, sweet dear ones from Vancouver. Where else are we from? Cornwall. Greetings, Felicity. Huna Kawamanato. Mark, you're going to hear some crazy Hunas, okay? There's some crazy Hunas up in the house here. Kawamanato. Yes, welcome from Cornwall there. And well, Donna Fraser, I don't have a Huna for you so far, unless I've forgotten. Calgary, Alberta. And yes, and our brother, the birthday boy there over in Sault Ste. Marie in Canada, near Manitoba, Saskatchewan. Forgive me if I forgot. Huna Karima, harmonious being there. Wawa Nui to you in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Thank you for bringing the feelings of my ancient home. There's so many joining here today. What's the number looking like? 75 so far. We're loving these numbers. We're loving the increasing viewership. Mark, it's really good to see you, brother. When was the last time I saw you?
I think the last time we met personally was the Burning Mask in Ireland. We made that. I made that film, dragon riding in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you made that. It's incredible. And we made a little flashback. We call it flashbacks. So we make little highlights and we call them flashbacks. And it's taking off. It's taking off again on my channel. Could share that with you too, I suppose. It's been a year already.
Has it been a year? Well, I don't know. Time.
Almost.
It must be.
Almost, mate.
Wow. Yeah, it must be.
I
mean, you said being everywhere all at once, this spiral at the beginning of the show, and I was immediately transported back to the shower in the house I moved into when I first came here, because I seem to be in the shower every day. I was just like, oh, I'm back here again. Oh, I'm back here again. And it was like back in, I think that was about 2017, and the spiral was like Groundhog Day then, and then it burst forward, and now recently I've been getting a similar feeling, but it's like I keep making these mistakes, and then I have to jump to the next loop. It's been and I've been traveling everywhere. I feel like I've been everywhere all at once since I last saw you. So
yeah. I mean, I've heard you've been out on the tour, and just speaking to that jump, it's a weird kind of a thing. Okay, I feel like I'm doing this again, but then boom, in the space between you saying I feel like I've done this before, and then you jump and you jump across let's say a veil, you jump across a sort of a frequency or a vibration or dimension, let's just say, or reality, and you jump across realities into the next one, and you've got this lesson, you've got this information that you kind of know, and you're just kind of carrying it through, jumping all the way. You're jumping around everywhere, brother.
Yeah, I feel like a bit of a bouncing frog. Yeah, but and also timelines. I mean, I'd like to talk to you about timelines today, because the concept of timelines, I think 2 years ago, I understood intellectually, but recently it's like a visceral thing. 2 weeks ago, I literally checked the time and it was 10 p.m. And then I remember checking the time again not long after that. It was 2 a.m. And I don't remember anything in those 4 hours. And there was another point. I was in Tenerife a few weeks ago, and I was sat reading. What was I reading? I was reading quite a good book in the water park while the boys were going on the slides, and I sat there for 7 hours, but it seemed like 5 minutes.
Wow!
But there was one point where I was just looking at the book. And I was like, I don't know who I am or where I am. And I stood up and I walked around for about 5 minutes, not knowing who I was or where I was. This is like the middle of the day, no drink, nothing else. It was just like, what's going on? Very, 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 very strange. And you talk about the veil as well. You know, I've told these stories, you know, and I'm telling these stories to people that don't watch my channel, and they just look at me like I'm nuts. But you know, I saw a dragon about a year ago fly across, but it was made of light, white light, and it was silent. With my friend in the garden about 11 p.m. and it just flew over our heads. And the spaceship story that I've told numerous times, but you know, big orange ship just here. With hieroglyphics on it and everything. So you can't, you know, you kind of share these are all kind of personal experiences. But what I've learned by the traveling that I've done is that by sharing some of these stories, other people go, oh, I've had similar things, but I've not told anybody. Oh, thank God I'm not going mad. You know, I think that's really been the purpose of this whole YouTube thing.
I mean, well, we're mad here, so you can come over here and talk the mad stuff. We love it. That's right.
Yeah, I'd love to come to Mexico. Never been to Mexico. I was saying that to my kids. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome to. You always have a guest. We have a guest room here. You're welcome to stay. But there's also some wonderful resorts here for really great price, great beaches.
Well, I do come usually with at least 2 children in tow. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we'll have to get you a larger accommodation. But certainly, it'd be great to see you here. And what was Morocco like? That's
well,
place, isn't it? That's sunny and hot, isn't it?
It's very, very hot. Yeah, North Africa. I lived there for 4 years. Okay, so last year we did the event in Birmingham, which was last May. So that's about a year ago. Yeah, almost exactly a year ago. And I think that's when I first physically met you. But I'd spoken to you about a year before a few times, and you introduced me to the concepts of the codes.
Yeah.
Ma, ha, wa, ka, ha, ti, which I talk to everybody about now like I'm an expert. I'm not an expert, but the thing is, when you first taught me those, they stayed with me. And then one day a poem just came out, which I played for you last year.
Yes.
And that poem, I mean, that poem's inspired a lot of people. I want to show. I'll show you.
We'll talk more about it as well. I know you've got your new book. Book of poems. Yeah, that's incredible. The Continuum codes.
I did an event at the monastery in Manchester last year, 6 months ago, and
fantastic.
A lovely chap came up to me and he made this for me, which is, you can see at the beginning.
Yeah.
Maha Kawatahi.
Yeah.
And this was guy called Mark Whitford gave it to. I mean, the amount of time and effort that's gone into this, it's all handmade and everything. It's just amazing, right? So it's inspiring people. And in fact, I think we should play that poem and start there, because
please do. When we get a moment, we'll share. If you could share it,
I'll start with that because
let's bring it on.
Just for the
you have access.
I think so. Have you got my screen?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. So I'll play it and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, sweet dear ones. Original work.
Yeah. You ready?
Yes, sir.
There and back again. Ma ha ka wa ta hi. Hi ta wa ka ha ma. There and back again. Do you see? Multi-dimensional beings are we. From the energy of the first light, through the calendar of the light of days, with the veil down, we were in a haze. 1 to 10 and back again. In the darkness we held each other tightly until the light came. The dragon blood, the Taki, the Akashic potentiality. At the speed of memory, we came, there and back again. From the I am to the we are, we came far, there and back again.
Ooh.
Heaven's door. Yeah, it's potent, brother.
Yeah, well, you inspired that, and when and as I was watching it, then I remember the conversation we had when you were talking about the way that you do the dragon riding with the sounds, is that you go up and down there and across, and then which I actually experienced with you when we did the dragon riding properly, which is a profound experience that you can't really explain to anybody that hasn't done it. But that feeling of 1 to 10 and back again, you go there and back, and it's this there and back again, there and back again. And I remember it just hit me one day that was the same title of the book that Tolkien had his Hobbit rights.
Oh,
so and Tolkien said that in 1959 in Amsterdam in a radio interview that the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings was the true history of the earth. And I'd found myself placed in this part of Ireland where I am 5 years ago, and there's a place near here which is a sacred site which you love called Carrowkeel. Carrowkeel. Yeah. And behind Carrowkeel is a cave called Gollum's Cave. So this island is really based on the Shire is based on Ireland, and I found that since as well. Birmingham is based on Mordor. So when we did that event in Birmingham, we're in the belly of the beast, in the middle of Mordor.
Yeah.
But this idea of the idea of the Maha, I don't know, I got that not perfectly right, but
it's fine. It's fine.
But it's because you can freestyle, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which I didn't know at the time, but that idea of 1 to 10 and back again, there and back again, it struck me that there was more depth to Tolkien as well about the nature of reality and the nature of this life that we are experiencing, which is constantly, which relates to the spiral exactly that you just mentioned. It's the same thing, I think. We're connected.
It is. It's that. So we refer to the Mahakawatahi Tawakahama as the continuum codes.
Yeah,
they're back again. That's what we refer to, the continuum. And yeah, when we're in ceremony and it gets activated that way, certainly in the circle of light, we call it, it is so profound. And just for yourself, as you're in practice at the beach, in nature, wherever, anywhere really, sitting on the bloody toilet even.
Yeah, I do a lot of good things on the toilet.
In the shower, in the shower, like you say. It's just there and back in a flash. What I like when you used you shared the taki, and that's very interesting because taki means flash. It means the flash of light.
Yeah, I called it a taki because of my accent.
Yeah. the taki, exact taki. But others had before had referred to me as there was two other people who have said to me, I want to call you taki. That's just. And someone else before that had said, I want to call you Flash. You're like a flash. And then it took on, then someone else had said it. So I just adopted it as a nickname. But it is a certain type of light. And you have been sharing that certain type of light, a very specific high vibration light that you've been sharing. And you went through this poem, right? You've got a new book of poems coming out, right?
Well, yeah, So I did the second Adventures in a Cosmic Suit live at the Manchester Monastery, and we did a gala dinner in Ireland in a castle, and I got this printed just in time, which is Spiritual War Poetry 2020-22 God Wins, because I think that period of time, 2022, is a kind of block of time in this process,
right?
Because I'm evolving. At the beginning of this book, it's kind of like a bit angry, and then by the end of it, it's all about unity and new earth. And I've made it like a coffee table book because I thought the images are just as important of this time as the words. And as I've said to people, if I'm right, this will go for 100,000 on eBay in 5 years. If I'm wrong, it's very expensive toilet paper.
Well, I think it's going to go great. We'll certainly bring it to our events.
It's not. I think these I printed off just for the live events and some friends' copies. I'm just getting some more printed, and then they'll be available online. The problem is they're like over 1 kilogram, and I'm trying to keep the cost down because they're really not cheap to do. But I didn't want to do just an ordinary book. It's
that looks amazing.
You either get it or you don't, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And it's been kind of a very interesting journey, you and I, when we met, talking to JC and Juicy and Lucy. I don't know how well, of course I know how. I mean, it always happens. I happened to catch you guys' show, and I'm like, okay, what is Juicy and Lucy, and what is this abracadabra? Of course, I know about abracadabra.
Well, no, that was a brilliant series, and I was sorry that it ended the way it did, but and I really liked everybody. You know, people have all come together at the right. Everything's perfect, right? People come together at the right time. They do their thing, and then they move on. And they do other things and go in different directions for whatever reason. And people speculate about that kind of stuff, but there's nothing. But we did 30 hours of videos on the abracadabra code, and it just. Juicy contacted me and said stuff to me that really resonated with me about how the universe is created and all of this, but I didn't really understand what he was saying. So we got him on the show. I'm just looking around for the book that, this Phrase Enable. I can't get it off the bookshelf because it's too big, but Phrase Enable was the book that fell into his lap, I think, in Salisbury one day, and he turned to a page, and it was just a fascinating exploration of the nature of how all of this really works. And and when we met you, I remember sitting there looking at you, and I just sort of soaked you up, going, "What's this guy talking about? Why is he talking to us?" Because they were really excited about talking to you because they knew who you were, and I didn't. And I just sat and I was going, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure, because I was just like, what does any of this make any sense? But then it just sort of percolated, and then that poem came out, and then we met, and then and loads of other things since then. But it's just been an amazing couple of years, and scary for a lot of people. But I'm an apocalyptimist at the heart of all of this. I think. I've always felt that we as a collective are going to be fine, and this is a process we have to go through. Roseanne Jack says, "Could get a copy of the book in Manchester? Can I get a copy now?" Yes, Roseanne, send me an email. I'll save you one. Sorry, I just saw that.
No, good, all good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. If any of your guys or anybody's watching, if you have a question, this is live and interactive, Huna Flash TV. You have to show yourself to ask a question. We will give you the link to come right in here with us. You can ask us face to face right here.
But I'll go back to the Morocco question, right?
Yeah.
So when we did the live event in Birmingham, it was so. If anybody watching this was there, tell us what it was like in the comments, because there were 650 people in the room, and I went because. Firstly, I got experience of presenting shows, so I presented the whole show for like 6 or 7 hours.
You did great, yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Cheers. And but the energy of the room, so it was really to meet the audience, but also to meet the speakers, because a lot of the people that were on stage I'd spoken to online for 1.5 years or 2 years and never met them. So and there's been a lot of backstabbing and nastiness in the truth community about this person's good, this person's bad. I've always felt like, well, you have to actually meet somebody to know. And I want to look at them in the eye and shake them by the hand, and then also put on a good show for people. But the energy of the room was fascinating, and the fact that I brought up the fact that Birmingham is Mordor in Tolkien's world is not a coincidence, because what I've learnt over the last year of doing these live events is that the people that have come to the events, I described them as points of light, and all of those points of light have been put around the world in the positions we're supposed to have been in at the time of what's just happened in the last 3 years, in order to create a grid of light. This is the vision that I've had. Tell me if this correlates with your kind of view of the whole situation. But when they come together, it's like it just blitzes that area and around there, and has a massively positive effect on the frequency of everything and getting rid of the darkness in those areas. And that's exactly why I decided to do an event in Manchester, and then that happened by accident. Well, it wasn't accident. Nothing's by accident. It was, I put out a message saying there must be somebody in my audience who's got a venue that's awake. And then 2 days later, I got an email off the monastery saying, we watch your show. Can you come and do a show here? And I was like, yeah, brilliant. So we've just done that again. Yeah. And then on top of that, I got invited to go and speak at the Truth Tour in America. And the message I got was, you need to go and do the whole tour. So I went for 34 days and we did the whole country in a month. And we made a film about that. That's about to come out. Would you like to see the trailer for the film?
The trailer for the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll pop
You can let's pop it in there.
Yeah, it's coming.
Let's pop it right in there. Oh, someone said Manchester was brilliant, and I see that we have a question from Lee. Lee, if you want to answer to your question, and I have an answer for you, Lee, you got to come onto the screen. Okay, what is that question? There you go. Well, you want an answer, you got to come on and ask me directly.
I'll
Okay.
just play the trailer. It's going to take 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah. Is that it? Add to the stream.
About what was really going
We
on
add
in
it
the
into
world.
the stream.
Did something I know that I'd end up on tour in America. Let's go.
You are actually standing in front of me.
We're in the Matrix. It's the most exhausting thing we've ever done.
We've got well over 1,000 rounds a day.
3 hours sleep's killing me, bro.
Guess we ain't in Kansas anymore.
On the Rangers. Boom. It's quite tiring. I might just get a plane home.
Man, there's crazies out there today.
It's just like flying a glider.
Someone sabotaged us.
Just got chills literally up and down.
Twinkle, twinkle, superstar.
53 and I'm here doing this. Incomprehensible. Oh, I'm very grateful. And I need a fag.
That's brilliant, man.
Well, you know, it's all about having fun, but I feel quite strongly that, you know, we should be recording this time as we go along. You know, there's a lot of things going on that people will want to refer back to and go, oh, that's what really happened there, and that's what happened then, and there's that book, and you know, I just feel cool to do that. Don't know why. And it was a lot of fun behind the scenes. It was exhausting, but it was brilliant. But that was the same thing. You know, we did that tour. Lewis Herms organized it in 17 cities, and he intended to go into the Democrat areas of the country where they, you know, the darkest areas of America, which is what we did. And everybody that came formed this blast of light in those areas. And halfway through the tour, I got a text off a friend or WhatsApp saying, hey, have you seen this map of the portals in America? And I looked at the map and I was like, hang on, that's just exactly the same places we've just toured in. And that was a complete synchronicity. And then I decided to go to Morocco and do a retreat in the Sahara, because I'd never been to the Sahara, but my friend has run a retreat there for 10 years and she's really good at it. And that was really hard. There was a guy that died 3 hours into that, you know, on a motorbike crash right in front of us. That was horrific. And then, but I've met the people that did the retreat since. They all said they said, Mark, you're too harsh on it. We had a fantastic, life-changing time. And for me, it was absolutely exhausting. But it was, you know, a lot of this spiritual journey is hard. When I did the Burning Mask with you, I lost my voice for 6 months.
Wow.
You know, and I was like, what is going on?
6 months.
6 months. I couldn't speak properly for 6 months. You can hear me in that film. I'm like, oh yeah, I need a fat. You know, it's like it's not just smoking; it's exhaustion.
I like the style of that. What that trailer is showing, the way that you produced it, and the style of it is it's leaving some mystery to it. Though you can see you're having a lot of fun, but in between all of those laughter. And in between all those fun bits and the connection with everybody, there's this. I feel this space between the towns, that there's mystery and discovery, and there is some shadow and there's some light and dark happening on your journeys between the towns, and some of those things following you around. Not that that's a bad thing; that's a good thing. You know, shadow is also coming to the light. By the way, ladies, sweet dear ones.
Well, I'm learning that one the hard way.
You do. If you're not used to it, it's kind of like, you know, rattling. It rattles you a bit, and you want to run away from it. But okay, so you're pulling all these energies with you. I get that feeling from that trailer that you just showed.
Yeah, I mean, the hardest thing we've had with that trailer is cutting it down, because we can't get it less than 4 hours. So because it's like 60 hours of footage. There were lots of different characters that came in and out of the tour. It was only me and Derek Johnson and Lewis Herms that did every show, which was, you know, so people were coming in and out, and we had different characters come in. There was little bits of drama on the way. You know, it's a very human story, you know, and just
Right.
beautiful to see the whole country the way that we did, and the audiences were just phenomenal. You know, absolutely brilliant, and also how strange it was because I just got waved into America. I didn't have any of this.
Nice. See,
Just
the
walked
light,
in.
the light just came in, and the shadows, and the light and the shadows mixing together and following you down the road, and learning the lesson. You know, you're open. You're white. You just open, man. This is the continuum. That part is it. Just you go in. Nothing can stop you when you are in that alignment of the continuum. The continuum can never be stopped or interfered with.
Well, I got it. I was in the queue to get past immigration, and everybody was being frisked and taken off for an interview. And I was like, should I be nervous? And I just went, no, it's all good. And I just felt it. I can feel it now. It just felt, it's fine. I just went up, and the guy just, I did the thumbprint and the eye thing, and then the guy just looked at me, and I was like, here we go. And he just goes, have you got any cigarettes? I was like, yeah, I've got some fags in my bag, actually. Why, do you want one? And then he said, welcome to America, and just let me in.
Wow. You know what I mean, I know there's one other person here or a few watching. They know what tobacco means, right? I know what tobacco means. And so does that birthday guy here, Marawawa. He knows what tobacco means. When that guy's saying, you have any cigarettes? He's talking about tobacco. Maybe he didn't know he's saying, because tobacco is an offering. It's an offering to the sacredness, right? And you may know about this, the tobacco. Look at this.
Rapé, right there.
You had the medicine with you. That's what it is.
Yes.
Of course you do. You know, I mean, we're talking about the continuum, but we're also the people that you at the gatekeepers, let's say. The gatekeepers, they know the medicine too. Well, they may, you know, human-wise, they may forget, but obviously this guy got the message. You're coming in and no one can stop you.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened with me, Mark. I traveled for 2 years during the COVID. Not one, they asked for papers and documents, and we just gave them to them. You know, we pirated them and then gave it to them. I'll be right honest with everybody here, and even on YouTube, because I'm on YouTube right now. And we just gave you the documents and walked right in. I had two wonderful arguments. I had so much fun arguing with the cops and with the immigration people in Ireland. I was all over them. But nothing could stop me from what I was on the mission for, just the same way, you know, there and back again. And I will make it home safely. That's the feeling. I don't have anything to worry about. You had nothing to worry about. Everything was there to support you. Now, I look at that video and I looked at the tour. I looked at your schedule when you guys are on the road, because there were a few Hunas with you out there.
There were loads of Hunas. I keep meeting everywhere I went. It was like, hi, I'm Huna Haka Tuku Takaha. And I go, hello. What are you doing here?
Yeah, back there and back again. Also for all of them. You were carrying this light around, so thank you very much for that. I want to just one more time prompt Lee. Where did Lee go? Come on, Lee, don't be shy. Don't be shy, mate. Where are you? Lee, come on back. You come in and ask the question directly. Yeah, man. Do I have to say it? You know? Do I have to say it? You know? Do I really have to say it? Don't make me say it. All right. We'd love to hear from you. I'll say it that way. Come on and ask. Let me share a little about this. I'd like to let me turn this into a little bit of an ad before we come back. Okay, mate?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just mute your camera and let me just bring this out. Okay. Let's just take this moment to just share with you, sweet dear ones. This is the Burning Mask event, and it is sponsored by the Light Shaman, www.lightshaman.earth, Burning Mask 2023, sponsored by the Light Shaman. And it will be in July 14, 15, 16 at Glastonbury in the UK, Glastonbury High Street. There's a popular venue called the Assembly Room Hall. It's a wonderful local venue that's world renowned. So if you have an interest, we will have the full details and pricing, etc., on houseofhuna.earth, www.houseofhuna.earth, if you are inclined. Mark Attwood will be there live and in person to share with you. He's also going to, we're also going to highlight a special ceremony that we're doing there with Mark, and perhaps we'll talk about it when we come back. And also who will be speaking is Catherine Edwards. So if you have interest in the one who speaks to the animals and talks about the animals, and who is also a Huna Kawahori. Okay, Huna Kawahori. This is Catherine Edwards. She'll be there. So we're grateful for these to be able to bring this once again. Burning Mask 2023. Remember your freedom. And this is going to be legendary. It's already kind of legendary because it's been there and back again. But this Burning Mask, remember your freedoms, okay? And continue to remember your freedoms. So that's so once again, we want to thank the Light Shaman, www.lightshaman.earth, Huna Kahihowe, aka Rochelle. You see a picture of her right there on the flyer. She's an incredible dragon master, dragon and Huna, and she does some incredible work with the Healing Lagoon modalities and also the Vessel of the Mother modalities that are known as the Vessel of the Mother. So check it out, and we look forward to you being there. All right. And that's my shout out to the sponsor. How do I get back over? Here we go. Okay, let's invite Mark back on again.
Yeah, I just went to lightshaman.earth and I couldn't get onto his website. I'd like to see that website.
www.lightshaman.earth.
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Okay, we'll check it out. Let me let's give it a minute. Let's give it a day or two. We'll double check on the links.
Cool.
We'll
Yeah, Glastonbury. I mean, is that a pyramid?
Glastonbury, did you say?
Tour. Is the tour on top of a pyramid?
Oh, it's a giant mound.
Yeah, I know it's a mound, but is it a...
No, it's a giant mound, a mound for the giants. There's a giant in there. Or giants down in there. Well, maybe that's a pyramid tomb, but I know that the energy is of the giants, the giant beings.
Well, I was there twice last year, and I remember I was on the top of the tour looking around, and I got very much giant energy from some of the other mounds that were around. But I bought a crystal. I'm going to bring Fred back to Glastonbury because this is Fred. He was there. He was carved in Brazil from quartz, but lived in Glastonbury for a while before he came to live with me. So yeah, to go back to Glastonbury is always a good thing.
Yeah, talk about a giant skull. And I did some work there 2017. We were shutting down access for the Anunnaki into the higher realms, and we had to access the underworld, which is in the northeast corner of the tour, way down in the bottom, and there's a bunch of trees and a paddock and some brush. And in that area was access to the underworld or second dimension. Some years ago, I had a Trinity team, and we had to go down there and pull the black blob out.
Ooh.
And we pulled the black blob from out of there. That was 2017. We put it into a container that was at the time known as the Tesseract, level 48. It was known as a level 48 Tesseract. And then we had to bury that Tesseract. And I was assigned with carrying it, because the other two Hunas couldn't carry. The thing was too much darkness. So not that I'm dark, but so they had to dig the hole at the tree of Merlin, and I had to take it and I had to drop it in the hole.
Is this black goo?
The black goo was being pulled from the second dimension, and it's now out of the second dimension, and there has been light. Light took hold in the second dimension. there is light in the underworld, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds, in case you've been wondering what the changes were with the Anunnaki codes, okay? Certain levels of the Anunnaki moved into higher chambers, into what we will refer to as the Motu. There you go. And then there's still two dimensions, one level left, the blackest goo. Yep. Wow. There you go. Look at this.
I wrote about it.
Right about the goo. Thank you. Thank you. There and back again. And we were all there. And part of my job, Mark, is to ensure that you come back.
Good.
That you make it home to the shower. You know, that you make it home to enjoy a movie and relax and watch TV or watch a show or just read or write poems. My job is to guarantee that everyone makes it home. You know, this home, that home, there and back again. Either or, there and back again. Yeah. So, so we're going to be in Glastonbury. Let's just talk about this while we're talking about burning mask. It's burning the false mask now, sweet dear ones, the false mask. You guys know what I'm talking about. Mark is signed up to receive the seal, the Source Element Ascension Light Ceremony, and initiate to the Huna. So he's going to, and you've elected to do this in public.
Yeah, well, it's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I mean, you do, and you're out in the public, and sweet dear ones, those who have become Huna and those who've taken the seal know what this is like. This is a big deal, bringing this into the public. I've done it a couple of times, but only from the permission of course, the participant. The last one who did this in public was Dr. Christian Northrup. And it was at the Burning Mask a year ago, and it was so powerful. And so powerful, you know, some when they watch me doing the ceremony, you know, I shapeshift a lot, right? Quite a lot throughout the process of that ceremony. And I don't use plant medicine. I don't use any medicines. I only work with light. That's all I work with, Mike. I don't work with anything else, just light. But and with truth. And so what people see is what they see, whatever they will see. And some people have said, oh, he's a demon. He's bringing demons down onto the land and all these things. Yeah, it could be so, but only in your reality, you know. It's whatever you see, and what you want to see is what you will see. Well, what I know what's happening I am nothing. I am 0 point in the ceremony, and the person receiving the ceremony is the one who's going through all of the lineages and the lifetimes and the personalities and the experiences. They're all going through to be ratified and understood even more deeper. And then he or she is going much deeper. And this is happening right. I mean, you burned the dragon ride, so it's so good for you. And this is pretty much, again, like the dragon ride, except this is just you. And you and your higher self and your lowest self. It's like you between heaven and earth. You are between the heaven and the earth. And it's you going up and down, clearing, healing, all these things. And you might show everybody what you're working on while you're going through it by reflecting it on me, by me shifting to what it is you're going through. So what people see on me, or they think it's me, it's not me. It's the person, the participant is going through between heaven and earth, or between heaven and hell, if you like. Not that earth is hell, but the lower dimensions and upper dimensions to ratify things, ratify the consciousness and clear the consciousness for sure, and then return to the harmonic frequency once again up to the crown, from the crown and up. So the seal, and then the seal brings what is known as the nameless one. All names are removed. All titles are removed. We have no names. We have no personality. We have no personalities. Gods, goddesses, Jesus, the devil, all of these things, they evaporate. and your consciousness is there now, cleared to be just wide open, and you're going to go there and back again. You go there and back again.
It is time.
Yeah. And so that's the process that we're going to be sharing for those who will come to the burning master. We're going to witness. I'm going to witness. And I would just say, those who will be witnessing, I don't want to, what do you call it? Tell you what to do, what to feel, how to do things. I'm going to share with you. You're going to feel, there's so much to feel here. If you're not used to the 9 senses, you're going to get hit by 9 senses, sweet dear ones. 9 senses, not 6, not 5. The ones that you've been used to, you're going to get hit by all 9 of them. They will all awaken. And so it is up to you if you wish to witness this thing. It's very powerful. And so that's not a warning. It's not a caution. It's an awareness. It's an awareness, okay? That's omnipresence between heaven and earth. Mark he's going to be in the omnipresent. He's going to be in the omnipresent, sitting inside the omnipresence. Not like you are now, but in a certain way. We're going to initiate this. And the Huna that will come through, we will find out as we're going to speak through and deconstruct the false languages, the languages of separation, to come into the one language where the energy exists. I speak Lemurian, and Lemurian is an energy. It's not a language, it's an energy, vibration, frequency, magnetics of the highest vibration. I have to say, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds, of the highest vibration. And you can speak that. I'm afraid you have to go beyond Latin. You have to go beyond the French and the English. You've got to go way back before Atlantis. You have to go way back before the Greek. You have to go way back before Zeus. You got way before Zeus was ever born. You've got to go all the way back to Lemuria, first Lemuria, okay? What we talk about is before confusion, sweet dear ones. Before confusion, all right? When we were always one. We're going to go not back to it. It's always present. It's always available. It's available, and I won't say it in the Christness. It's just available. Before confusion is always available. If you ask me where Lemuria is, I'm going to say to you, it's located before confusion, okay? Which means there are no names. There is no name of Jesus or Yeshua. There is no name of the Elohim. There is no name such as Anunnaki. There is none of that. It's a very, it's where your highest self, your highest light in action. Light in action. Huna is light in action. Huna is the law of one. If you want to say law of one in 4 letters, Huna. That's what it is. Exactly. So you have to go back before confusion. It means you got to speak and say the things that have no confusion attached to them. That's the infinite one, the nameless one. And that's what the Huna is. I am Huna Mauta Kumara Taki. It simply means let there be light and let it be a flash of light. And that's the action of my light. That's how my light moves. We're going to find out, even though we do know a bit about Mr. Mark Attwood and his meat suit, but we're going to learn a little bit about his light that moves. If you don't know what I mean, here's an example, okay? When the wind blows through the trees, are you hearing the wind or are you hearing the trees? Yes, Diva Lee, you can bring your question in a minute, but here's my answer. It's neither of them. There's no such thing as wind in the language. There's no such thing as trees. But what is making the sound, the wind or the trees? Well, I will say to you that whoosh is what it is. It's whoosh, or that sound that makes the action. That's energy, friction, vibration, magnetic, and Yeah, but who is sending that whoosh? Who is that whoosh? Who is that? Whose intention? What is that intention? Yeah, and that's the nameless one. That's the infinite one. Infinite light in action. That spoken in the way when we do want to say speak to that, we speak the language before confusion, which is the Huna. No, it's not an alphabetical thing, it's an energy thing. Huna, give us an opportunity to share it to help guidance, you see. What do you think, Mark? Am I on the right track here?
100%.
I don't know if I'm making sense. Well, I do, but to you, what I'm saying?
Well, you know, as you were speaking about going back to that, I just keep thinking about the undistorted light, which of creation, which is where we're going back to, because we've been in the distorted light.
Yes.
And these cleansing processes are all, we've got so much to shake off, you know, conditioning, programming, guilt, prejudices, anger. And it's, yeah, that's why I'm not afraid to follow in the footsteps of Christiane, because she's become a very good friend recently as well. So yeah, she's a wonderful woman. So if she can do it, I can do it.
Absolutely. We are nameless. We are undoing the things that do not serve. David Lee has a question. Please come on in. Receive the link.
David Lee's great. I've had David Lee on my show. She's brilliant.
You know David? I've not met David. I'll be so grateful to meet David. Come on, pop on in, David. This is it, sweet dear ones. When you have a question, please bring your essence to the screen. I would like to witness you shape-shifting. I would like to witness your light. Not that I know you're here. You're here and can feel that. That's great. Okay, so you can just click that link right there. All right, here's David. If you want to go to the lightshaman.earth, just click that link right there. Let's bring her on here. That do not serve. Greetings, David.
Good day.
Hi. Oh, you can see me?
How's it going?
100%.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Huna Flash.
5x5. Nice to meet you. So grateful you are here. Let me give you a big wah-wah.
Thank you. Thank you. My question is, I have been given these like little snippets of a different language.
Wonderful.
The last couple of months, and I'm just wondering whether you recognize them, because they're not telling me what the language is. Now, the first one that the first word that I was given was Anawatu.
Anawatu.
Anawatu. It means like brand new and euphoria, they told me. Excuse me, it's only 5:30 here in the morning, so
oh, you're good. That's perfect hour to be talking.
So have you heard of that before?
Yes, it's in my language. Okay, it's in my language. It's within the Lemurian language. Anawatu.
Yeah, so it's like Vanuatu, but without the V. Yep. That's how I remember it.
I can already, Watu. Okay, now let me break it down even more beyond what was shared to you, okay? Because we got to take it to the fractal level. This is where the energies combine. It's not so much in there is interpretation, but let me share the feeling and the energy rather than just interpretation. Because then this is like you got to rewrite your dictionaries, and everybody's got to start writing their dictionary, writing your manual. Okay, so here, means celebration. It's a recognition. Na means many or some or more. Okay, wa is the first principle of love, which means first love. And when I say first love, I'm talking about not when the baby was just born. I'm talking the very first being that came into form that experienced love. The very first being in all of the races of all of the beings, all of the universes, the very first child to come into the form to experience love. Might not have been human, but just it wasn't. But there was no word. But there was the love. That's the first love. It's first principle, love, wa. And two And the Lemurian means to stand and be counted, to be revealed, to reveal oneself. Okay, so when you're saying a whole sentence, Anawatu is not just one, it's a multi-dimensional phrase, Anawatu, yeah, celebrating the many of the first love, where I stand, what I stand for, in this way, Anawatu. I can already feel them celebrating as I share this. I can feel the energy, that celebration is happening by breaking this down. Okay, because even them, sometimes they don't remember either. So I'm serious. Even the angels forget, right? And sometimes I'm sorry, I have to prompt them. Sometimes I do. Just me. I'm sorry. I got to prompt them. I have to prompt Michael sometimes. And so what I mean is the guidance is there to get you to the part of why are you here asking me now? And I can feel it all over me now. And I can feel them. Ooh, boy, it's really, they're coming right through that picture right behind me, which are all the medicines of the birth signs and the constellations. Just constellations right behind me. Ooh, big celebration.
Fantastic. I've got a couple of others that I don't know how to.
One more second. I want to share something else with you. There's a Huna that is here, who works very closely with us and with me. Her Huna is Watu. She is Huna Watu. It's her, the essence of Huna Watu, to ensure that we stand for the first love. She will make you cry. Okay, that's in her light. That's her light in action, much like I said, whoosh. Watu. Okay, sorry, I had to say this. And that's probably part of what the feeling is now, bringing that to the light. Okay. Now, wait. Amazing. Now, one other thing. This language, this is the multidimensional language of Lemuria. It's our first language of Polynesia. It's the language before Atlantis. Okay, so this is not tied to the Mediterranean. This is not tied to Africa. It came later. Africa came later. They speak this language in the modern way now, but this is the ancient. And so when you hear it, when you're saying this language is like if you take 6 points of this 6-pointed star. Okay, you have there's 2 letters at each point, right? And everything between each point of different light languages from one point to the next, this language can it intersects, and it's like a junction. It intersects the light languages and can help you translate the light languages. But by if you understand, I'm getting a bit crazy here, but it's kind of deep. If you have each two dual letters at the point, if you like to say the Merkaba, just so you can see the primary star. That is that these letters will translate light languages between 2 points, and this is what this language is for: is to help you interpret, to help us each to speak together, to speak to one another. It's very important. There's so many star nations, right? To moving from 12 languages, 12 tribes. Sorry, not 12 languages. The 13 tribes of Africa, moving back to the 5 root races, moving back into the masculine and feminine of the 2, back into the merging of the 2 into the 1 through the sound. It's pulling all 13 tribes are being pulled back into the 1, right? And the 13 tribes of Africa have so many languages right now, but it pulls it back into the 1, but it goes through 13, 5, 2, which is the gender. Doesn't matter, human or a tree or a lion or whatever, a seal, masculine, feminine convergence into 1, so bringing it back into the 1 language. That's how I can share this with you.
Yeah,
it's very important that what you're sharing, what you just brought. I know what to. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. You've got another part.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Wow. It's deeper than what I actually thought. So the next one is, I'm going to spell it because was given the pronunciation of it, but it was the middle of the night and I didn't ground the information properly. But it's OU-NOU-AWA. So ONU-AWA.
Awa.
Something, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. But
oh no, Awa. Awa means river. Awa. If I break it out, it's again goes back to the wa. It's recognizing the first principles of love. Oh,
yeah.
Sometimes when we say oh, the OU or even AU, it's the same sound, but not so much the when you look at it, it's the sound. Oh also means sometimes it means I don't know, or sometimes you're saying not really, not really, you know. So I said, oh no. The other word you had NOU, which is not no or no, which is like saying no. If you are speaking properly in the upper jaw and the lower jaw, you would say no.
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 Oh no. Oh no. So it gets broken up, right? This is dragon language here. This is the dragon jaw, and it'll break your. Sometimes it get used. It'll break your jaw. Oh no, Anna. Oh no, awa. So talking about flow. It's speaking
I'll
about.
practice that when I'm in the shower. And no one can hear me.
Is that when you got it in the shower? Is that what you said?
No. I get that. I've been getting the Anuatu I got in the middle of the day. The others I got in the middle of the night, so that's why they're a bit sketchy with me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's how I'm reading it right now. Oh no, awa. It's about a recognition of that, to flow, knowing of the flow. You know, either not really. Do you? It's like asking you the question: Do you know yourself?
Ooh.
Do you know who you are? That's kind of another way it's pulling out that energy. Do you know who you are? You are. You are the one who stands for first love for many.
Wow.
I know what too. You stand for love for the many.
Mm-hmm.
And you stand for many. Do you know who you are?
Wow.
Yeah, that's the feeling. This is 9 sense language. That's why you have to understand we communicate in 9 senses. If you can't open your mouth and you don't have that one sense, but there's still 8 more. You're feeling, connect to the feeling, connecting to the shadow, if you like, or the lower energies, the darker energies, the heavy energies. Do you know who you are? Not only in the light, but also in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
See, and you did say one came in the day, one came at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know who you are? And who are you? You are the one who stands for many, the one who stands for the first principle of love, the first principle of love for the many. You got a lot of work to do. You got to get out there. You got to get out there. I'm afraid, David. You're not doing enough.
And probably very true too.
I'm teasing. Yeah. But honestly, this is multidimensional language of the 9 senses.
Yeah, wow. It's really interesting because the last couple of days, whenever I have a vision, and my guides are trying to teach me that everything's a hologram. And so I've been seeing different beings that I know, different people that I know, with their body, but with somebody else's head. And I still know them. I can still recognize them, but it's so confusing sometimes for me to get like everything's an illusion, everything's a hologram. So they're just trying to show me visually so that I can actually, I get it up here, I know it up here, but I'm one of those people that needs to feel it in here before they can grasp it. So I'm really working on trying to grasp this hologram illusion.
So there's a question now. What is it? Is it a hologram? Is it? This is what I say, Deva. I say it. This is what I say a lot. I haven't said it much lately, but over the years I would say we are not here. We were here. I am not an illusion. I am an eternal memory. Because you see me, and because we see each other here, we are able to be here. You are calling in the memory of of me. I am sitting in front of you. I am a memory that's talking to you. I'm not an illusion. I am not a hologram. I'm an eternal memory. I am not here. I was here.
Can I tell you a little story?
Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over this session.
No, that's fine. I just reminded me of something. I was I had one of those Celestine prophecy mornings in America on the tour when we were in the reservation area, and I just kept one 90-year-old Native American woman came up to me and just gave me a gift and blessed me and all my ancestors, and it was lovely. And then I was standing on the grass, and all these ravens were flying around, and this other Native American woman came up to me and she said, you know what's happening? And I went, no, what's happening? She said, we are walking through a dream we've already had. And then she walked off, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. I like those words. I like my words better. Sorry. I'm sorry. I like my words better because I was here and you were here, and I remember you now. There's a word we speak. It's a word that's called wairua. Wairua, which simply means we remember you. Wairua is the eternal memory, and it is love that is the driving energy, the driving engine for remembering is love. Love is what drives you to remember. Love out of love, because of love, whatever. Love really is the driving energy force to remember one another. I hate you, but I hate to love you. It was like a love-hate relationship. I'm never going to forget you. In other words, I will never forget you.
So it's all love.
It is. And there are these mechanisms, right? That's a very powerful one. The wairua tapu is a very, very powerful thing. It also carries this other energy which we speak of, which is the muki muki. And the muki muki is, think of the muki muki as a fluffy. You remember the Star Trek movies with the little fluffy beings, things?
The Weebles.
Yeah. The Weeblies or something?
No, I can't remember what they're called.
I know think of it, sometimes they're nice and fluffy and cuddly, and then sometimes they're like, and have teeth. Right? So the challenge is to be with the nice fluffy one, bring everything softly. But the muki muki is this energy of yearning, desire, the wanting, the needing to remember, the needing to know. I gotta know this, I gotta know that, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. This is the muki muki. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is it karma? Is it dharma? No, it's blah blah blah. Muki muki is I like muki muki. What's the consequences? Well, the muki muki is going to share some consequence with you too, and share a challenge with you. But also, the muki muki can also bring so much love and remember and help you to remember.
Tribbles.
Tribbles. There you go.
It's an amazing language, isn't it? Because it cuts out a lot of the SHIT, I think.
Absolutely.
It's straight to the point.
It's not SHIT, it's shati. Shait.
There's another word for if you want to speak to that matter. There's another word for it, which is tickle. Tickle. Which is in alignment again with, they're not confusing. Tickle.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you very much. I do have a couple of others if you've got time, or should I just leave it there?
Hey, come back. Give us a chance with someone else, and then we'll call you back. You got that other question. Just never know. The timing might be just brilliant.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dave. I'll see you again. See how we're looking here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, someone has questions. Someone had a question. Who was that?
She's my mum on Venus, by the way.
Oh yeah, your Venus mum. Mother in the light, huh? The light of day, or the light of the morning, or the light of the evening, huh? The light of the morning, I think. Stephanie B, how did you come to learn? Okay, Stephanie, you have to come on and ask this question, I'm afraid, love. That's how we roll in here. Okay, Stephanie, where are you? Did she run away? Stephanie? She couldn't wait. Yeah, it's always fun up in here, Mark. So there was just as we're waiting for Stephanie or the next question. Oh, I wanted to ask you about, but you said a little bit about it in the opening. I said, what's your latest Starship story? Any sightings? Your latest sightings?
Well, yeah, because I when I did the dragon riding with you last year, I mean, I've seen a lot recently, but there was a really good one after that I've not told you about after the dragon riding, because I think it was that evening or the night after we had a get together at some friends on the coast on the coast, and there were about 30 people in the garden, and everybody was asking me to call in the ships.
Yeah,
and I called them in, but they took a few hours. But when they came in, whoa, they just right over the water, and it was so beautiful because we got like 15 miles of coastline there, and it was completely clear, and they gave us an amazing show. They also followed us around the tour in America. They also they were also above us in Manchester, and they're there all the time whenever I need them. But in the last couple of weeks in Ireland, it's just been really overcast, so I haven't seen much recently.
Yeah, so they're following you around.
Yeah.
Any messaging in your downloads? Anything peculiar that's sticking out?
Well,
if you can recall, maybe.
No, I'm getting a very strong calling to not stop talking online, but to take these learnings into the real world. So I'm opening a healing center in a month with another guy here, and we're starting with hyperbaric oxygen chambers. Wow. because I see those as, I mean, the first hyperbaric oxygen chambers was really invented 400 years ago, 1661, I think. And, everybody understands oxygen. And for me, it's a bridge, because I also got a very strong message in January that to make a video and put it on Twitter. It sounds weird whenever I say this, and the video was about having compassion or saying to the people that got this, most of them were duped. We understand that, and we're here for you in the future. All of this idea of we're the pure bloods and they're the non-pure. That's division. That's exactly what they want. So it's really about, for me, it's about building these bridges and getting into some proper healing. And once you get somebody who's not well into an oxygen chamber, they will experience something extraordinary, and then you can go into things like 5D technology or frequency stuff like this, or electrifying the blood, or whatever. These are the things that might seem a little bit too out there for people. This is like a bridge in. So there's definitely a shift in where some of my energies are going to go, and it's going to
That's great. And all those modalities and practices that come along, and I'm sure they upgrade even more. Of course they do. They even the tuning fork gets upgraded. Just before I share something else, I want to say a welcome to Huna Katuama. who I have not seen in quite a number of years now. Karine, really good to see you, Huna. I hope things are well there in France. If you are in France, Huna Katuama, or if you are in Belgium, it's really good to see you. Blessings, wawa to you. Good to see you. Hope you hang out a bit more. Be good to see you again. We're working on France for some a burning mask. We were talking about it earlier. We'll see how things go.
I had a couple of people from France come to my Irish gala dinner, and I was like really surprised, you know. And there were two beautiful women. They looked very similar, but they weren't related. But you could have sworn they were sisters, and they just came over, and they were lovely. If they're watching, hello, bonjour.
Bonjour.
I was just very surprised, you know, non-English speak, not first language, you know, making the trip. We had people from all over the world. It was Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Europe, everywhere. It was amazing.
That's fantastic. And you know, you're going to be bringing the healing. What is the healing? Do you have a title, a working title yet for the healing center?
Yeah. It's called. We're going to call it Live 5D Health. And the other thing that we're doing is we're making it a private members association, because this is a way that we start breaking away from the system within this kind of service base. Because a lot of people don't open stuff like that because they're scared of being regulated and stuff like that. So all we got to do is take it into the private, and that's it. You know, so we're trying to prove that that's possible, and get rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to take the source, the ceremony of the seal, source element ascension, light. When we complete that, I'm going to speak to you a bit about what is the Dragon Master's course. Okay, I want to talk to you a bit about that, because as you are building your healing center, there is ways to contain it in a powerful containment field. And the tools we work with to contain the outer perimeter, and including the car you're driving in, and anything you're communicating through, that nobody can interfere with you.
That'd be good.
You know, I'm going to share some things with you a bit later on, but after you become Huna, so there'll be a connection there. And certainly, you know, I'm doing the same thing. I'm creating the School of Light on the island of the Goddess in Cozumel, here in the Caribbean. And I think everybody has been getting that message, no? And creating your events at your venue where we can attend. Right now, we're utilizing what venues we can rent or lease or try to be out there in the communities. You know, when after Birmingham, when I met you there, do you remember the Hunas that were with me? There were three of them. Do you remember the blonde one, and blue eyes?
I can see.
You see here, Huna Masahawa. That's Huna Masahawa. A little bit later, a year later or so, she did her first Dragon Masters workshop. Her first workshop with the Lemurian tools from the House of Huna. And it was so incredible when you were just saying Birmingham was what, Mordor, and you go to Ireland and it's Shire, and that you're coming back and forth between the two, and you were just in Manchester, kind of the same area, the Middle Earth, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're and so now Huna Masahawa lives in Birmingham, right? So she lit it up over there, and she's since after that cycle of coming through the energies of doing that workshop. It's a very powerful workshop. She's getting ready to do another one, another gathering this time, and this time, well, not this time, but is another level of the energy. So it's just interesting where you are intersecting and she's connecting there in the middle of in the Middle Earth, you know. And certainly when I was in Birmingham recently, it really started. It's feeling really good over there. It's feeling so much better, so much lighter. Hey, we have a Huna that just popped up on here. Let's bring her on, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was an answer to that question. Katuama, where are you? And you trying to add you to the stream. Oh, there you are. Hey.
Hey, it's been a while.
Hey. Pounamu on. We're a really nice pounamu you're wearing right there.
Yes, look at this.
Ah.
I got it from one of your friends in New Zealand.
Ah, you were there? Or was he there with you? Or yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Mark, this is a good friend, Huna, who was sealed. It's been a few years now, isn't it, Huna?
Yes. I
Probably
think 3 years.
3 or 4 years. 3, 4
Yes.
almost. Huna Katuama. Are you over in Belgium right now or France?
Right now I'm in Belgium, but I was in France last week doing a lot of ceremony on the site of Maria Magdalene, healing waters and working like that. So that was great.
Wonderful. Yes, we've been in and out of the Michael Mary line lately. Are you familiar with Mark Attwood?
I heard the name, but I'm sorry, I'm not so familiar. But your name is familiar.
Yes, you're not
Hello.
one to be on YouTube much. I know you're not online very much, but
No.
Grateful for you to be here, and especially with Mark being here at the same time. Yeah, it's been a minute. Why took you so long? We really did a lot of work. We did a lot of work when I came over there. And you know what? I came back to the Netherlands, did some the second dimension, the door to, we call the dark tunnel to the 2D. And then again recently at Mont Saint Michel, and then St. Michael's, kind of just squished it all together. And here you are.
Yeah.
You popped right up. This is good. We must be doing right back if Huna Katuama is popping back in after a few years.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, and remind me, please, what the meaning of Una Katuama.
Oh my goodness. Well, take a look. First birth, who stands for the first love. One who is of the first birth, that stands for the principles of first light. Sorry, first light.
First light. Una Katuama. First birth for the first light. Yes.
And that's the Ma at the end.
Yeah.
For the first light. No, I'm just asking because you just mentioned Mary Magdalene, Ma. The event we were just talking about in Manchester, the monastery is connected to Mary Magdalene, and the Mars are everywhere. It's just everywhere. I just kept meeting people who were Marie, Mary, Maurice. It's been quite amazing. So
let's just say that the line is getting cleared. Okay.
Yes.
Let's just say it's working. The work is being done. When Mark's got his book, I mean, what was it again? The God work, is it? The book? Spiritual war poetry. God wins.
Yes.
Okay, so we are lighting it up along all those lines, of course. And
and the awakening of the feminine, it's very stronger and stronger. Women are getting more in their powers again.
She has risen.
Needed.
She has risen.
Yes.
She has risen.
You can feel it.
Absolutely. And again, I will prompt everybody, including the angels. But that's right.
Yes.
The feminine has risen. Do you remember the name of the Sphinx before Egypt? Does anybody here know the name of the Sphinx? I do, but I'm asking if anybody here remembers the name of the Sphinx before it was known as Egypt. Somebody, Huna, you're not supposed to tell Huna. I was gonna save it. You jumped it. All right, Tefnu.
Tefnu.
Tefnu. That is the Nubian, Lemurian speaking of the time of Kim. Why am I saying this? Because this is the Sphinx is a lion queen. And when we talk about the feminine has risen or rising, the inspiration, now I will share something else as you're talking about the feminine rising. At Dandara, about half a mile straight to the water, to the Nile, I activated Stargate number 6. That is the Stargate right at that water. It's in line with when the sun rises, what's called the Wahi. Right at that at a certain time when you activate the ceremony, that Stargate gets activated. It's a Stargate number 6, which is in alignment to the feminine rising. That's the new frequency for that overrides Sirius. It overrides Sirius. That Stargate is known as the energy signature of the Rehu, which is the dolphin, and it supports the rising of the feminine. It's
Today wow.
Go ahead.
Today I was leading a ceremony with dolphin.
Yeah.
Wow.
And last week, months ago, I felt, because on my calendar from you, I am with Rehu B, Sirius B. But last month, I feel I receive an upgrade, and it's another connection. And I feel my energy vibration has increased, and like the guiding team is changing also.
Huna, I wrote a poem involving the feminine rising that I don't think you've heard. If you want to hear it,
please share it, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, I'd love to hear it.
And then I'm going to have to go because I've got another show to do and I've got my kids' dinner to make.
Oh, good.
Won't be long. Hang on. Where is it?
Oh, good. Sounds good. Let me get rid of something here that need to be there.
Oh, it's not playing. It's not playing. Why is it not playing?
Sorry.
There it is.
Humanity is dawning.
Start it again.
A new earth is forming. A new era for humanity is dawning. Eru is rising from the stone of separation, gifting her fertility to the newborn sovereign nation, manifesting abundance in every single way. Era once again embraces the Dagda and the Fae, retrieving our voices from the masks of tribulation. Your tribe is calling. Hear it now. It's a time for celebration. This green isle, the beating heart of Gaia, pulsating with eternal love, forged from the emerald fire, inviting souls awake, all spirits from the ether, bare feet on the soil, dancing with our brothers and sisters, gathering as one. The future's here at last. Our consciousness evolves, and we dissolve the broken past. New Earth is here. It's here right now. Sense it all around you. Shake off your fears. Wipe away your tears. And feel the golden hue of God's eternal love bursting through every cell. It's time to toss your forsaken pennies into the universe's wishing well.
Thank you.
So Eru is the goddess of fertility and sovereignty, and in Ireland, and it's all connected. And
yes,
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that memory, the new remembering. I know you've got to go. Katuama, thank you for it's great to see you. I want to invite David for one last question before you go, Mark. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Katuama. Stay in touch.
See you, Katuama.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wawa. All right. David, where did she go? David, where you at? There you are. Is he there? No. I thought. Yeah. So, you know, just before David comes back, Gaia, yes. Do you remember Tara? Okay. First Earth was Tara. Do you remember the second Earth?
Oh yeah, no, this is coming back to yes. No, I don't.
It's Maya.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I need to look at that list again.
That's okay. You can watch the recording. The third Earth is Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth Earth was Gaia. And I say was. Because the fifth Earth is Matea, the planet of new light. Bulavinaka, Fiji. Let me oh, you jumped right in. Hey David, sorry. We got a competition here. Just stay where you are, David. I want to bring on Miss Fiji. Is that okay? Because she has not come on and she's been
Only
visiting.
when the host can see you,
Sorry,
the host can add you to
Bulavinaka.
Okay.
Chale.
Can
Bulavinaka.
see and hear you.
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you.
I'm reading it. I can't hear anything.
Turn on your thing.
I want to just a quick question because I can't hear anything.
Okay, go ahead. Can you see?
Only I can't hear. There's no sound.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I can hear it. I can hear it now.
Good. Very good.
Hi, Bulawanaka.
Bulawanaka.
Hi.
Bula.
Just a quick Bula here from the Netherlands. Just a quick question. You were here in I don't know, some year ago in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Did you come to the place where in the sort of the northern part of the Netherlands?
Yes, I was north of Amsterdam and on the North Sea doing a ceremony.
Okay, because I am at a place. I come from a city that is shaped like a star. It's a sport city, and so much things has happened in that city since the 1100s, and and it has a lot of energy in that city. So much things had happened. But the thing is, I am called to that city, and there's something there that brings me to go there. I work in there, and there's the building, which is which is the city hall. It has this energy in it, and I don't know what it is. I do feel it because
what's your question, Tale?
The thing is, how can I? What is it I can do that all the energy that's in this city to calm it down or to get rid of it? Is that a way? Because I'm getting dreams about it.
Okay, Mark, you want to share one? I can share it too, but would you like to speak to that question? What can she do? Is there something that you can share with her? I will also share.
Well, I would, you know, is it a star fort? Did you say it was a star fort built on a star?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So it's like, so this town hall is probably a power station and then stored the energy in the water and created this good energy. Do you feel that the energy has been inverted or is negative in any way, or is it a positive place?
It is. It's because I feel it is sitting on a ley line.
Negative?
The negative, there is negative and positive that flows.
Okay, I know. Yeah, it's called 1,000 points of light. That's what it's called. They call it 1,000 points of light. Mark, do you remember that?
Yeah, well, I also remember George Bush stealing that phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the Masons.
Yeah.
Okay, the satanic. Now, do you want to, now the question is, Tale, my answer, well, my comment, do you want to take it all on yourself?
No, but the thing is that I'm attracted to this place, and every time I'm there, I get a lot of visions. My the language, I get all different types of language. Sometimes I'm speaking 6 to 7 languages in the same time that people don't understand me. So, which is, yeah.
Well,
I don't know what is it. Yeah.
Well, I would say not by yourself. I have been doing work there. We are planning on coming back there, and we will unite with you. Perhaps we will do the Fijian spear dance, and we will do the culture. Okay, and we will sing the songs of Lemuria and the words.
Yeah.
Perhaps Mark will be there. We'll see. But you cannot do this by yourself. Okay.
No. I realize that.
Yeah, you can be around and understand, but that's what it is. It's connected to the 1,000 points of light, which we are working to switch. It's like the last mark. I think it's the last 20%, 10 or so percent. Last 11% that needs to be switched over, and that place is part of that, right? This is William Orange, right? William Orange, time of William Orange.
Yeah, but the thing is, why I'm attracted to this place?
Well,
there's something there that's pulling me there. What is
you're
it?
A grandmother. You're a grandmother. You're a manakuya. Yeah, you're the kuya. You're a grandmother. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's probably why. You're a grandmother. Yes, or uya or kuya. We say also. So you are carrying that light of the grandmothers, meaning all the grandmothers are talking to you.
Yeah, I do have the what we call the ulumatua. I am the ulumatua.
Yeah. You are
the eldest
warrior, the elder. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And this, because I tell you something. When the grandmothers come, they can soften the feminine. When the grandfather comes, they soften the masculine. So what's happening is your presence is softening those energies, those heavy, or even, especially for the feminine rising. To allow her to rise, she must soften. She getting the wisdom and knowledge from the grandmother's energy to be able to let go of her ego. Or for the masculine, the kuro is helping the masculine to let go too. So you have to be in partnership with the kuro or the mana kuro. So mana kuya, which is the strength of the light of the grandmother, and the mana kuro, which is the strength of the grandfather. They can soften those energies. Very important. Now it is very important with this energy, And I don't mean just anybody, it does take a certain grandmother and grandfather to be ready. And of course you're ready because you're Fijian. Of course you're ready. You're Lemurian already. You already have the dolphin and the crab. You have the wipaka. You like eating crab. So yeah.
Oi.
I know.
Talking about food. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting hungry now.
Yeah, Mark. The question for Mark, because I've seen you clearing up energy when you were in when the sun came out.
Yeah.
That was I felt it. Is there a connection? Because you saw Violet. Did you see Violet?
Well, what I saw was the sun stopped looking like it normally does, and it had a black line around it, and within that black line was like a little white light going around like this, and in the center, it was like plasma, and then it lights started coming out, and I think the first light was violet. Yeah, it was violet and purpley, and then there was reds coming out of it, and it was. Yeah. I'm glad you watched that video, because I was really frustrated because we couldn't show it on the camera, wouldn't pick it up, but a lot of people watched the video, felt what we were feeling, and yeah. So yeah, I think it was the violet rays. Yeah.
Okay, because I felt it too, and then sometimes I do see it here, and I don't know what made me come to the Netherlands. You know, Fiji is rather far away, so I felt that I had to come here. Right in the Netherlands.
Everywhere I've been, I've like, what am I doing here? But you're there. Your higher self knows why you're there. You know, and you work it out eventually. But you're obviously doing something. You're obviously meant to be there, and you're doing something powerful.
Yes, I do feel it, and it's amazing because the languages. I speak a lot of languages. And the Lemurian language, it seemed to come very stronger because though I don't speak light language, that I don't do that.
Yes, you do.
But I understand it. Oh, oi.
You do.
Okay.
you speak Fijian. That's a light language.
Okay. Yeah, I speak Fijian, Samoan.
Yeah, Samoan.
Tahiti.
Samoa.
I speak Tongan.
Yeah.
So Maori. I speak in Hawaii.
This is light language. That's Lemurian light language.
Okay.
We are.
Besides I speak Dutch, French.
See, you're fantastic, you.
German.
Ui matoa. We'll get your contact, okay? Because I need to have a meeting with you while you're in the Netherlands. I'm glad you're there. Because you're there, there is another level of things we can do because you are there. Okay? There's perfect timing. Yeah, Mark, I know you got to go.
Yeah.
And I know, I'm sorry, but David is also wanting a last word, I think. Ui matoa. Ua matoa. Stay in touch, okay? Huna's going to connect with you and get your email and our email. We need to talk.
Good.
And we will do those things together. Bula vinaka.
Yeah, Bula vinaka. Vinaka Vakalevu. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Love your poems. Love to meet you too. Love your poems.
You're going to meet them.
Bula vinaka.
We'll see you in July. Okay.
Wawa.
See you. Okay. Mode.
Bye-bye.
Mode.
Sufua. Let's get one more word out of David before she goes, okay?
Okay. When are you coming, both of you, to Australia?
Yeah, I get asked that. I've been asked that a lot at the moment.
Come on, Mark. Come on down under. We're ahead of the West.
Give me a venue.
I live in a very magical place. It's warm. It's on the Gold Coast in Queensland. And there's a huge big venue, international hotel called the Intercontinental that's 5 minutes from my place. And some people could stay at our place, some people can stay in the hotel, but we ride around in little golf buggies. We've got a local village, and most of us ride around in little golf buggies, and we can do all our shopping and everything. It's so venues 5 minutes from me, probably even less.
What I mean is, you've got to get a venue that isn't going to close us down when they find out what we do.
Okay.
I was planning Burning Mask in Australia because I have a lot of Hunas in Australia, but I'm going to reset it for the following year, 2024. Certainly, that would be a possibility if Mark was available that we could come. He could come with us. Whereabouts are you? Did you say down near Kangaroo Island?
No,
oh,
no.
you're on the Gold Coast. Yeah. I got Hunas on that side. We are there's Hunas everywhere.
Okay.
But in the Gold Coast, yes. And I have family in Sydney too. My niece, my nephews, and my cousins there. Half
that's
Samoan.
playing right away.
Yeah. So would love to make some plannings for that for 2024. They've been
Bring your
asking.
kids, Mark. They would love it.
Well, I'm going to have to get their event at some point, aren't I?
Yeah.
The pressure's on.
No more pressure. I've had enough pressure.
Well, the love vibration one. We're pulling you in, baby.
Yeah, fantastic. No, I'd love to come. I have to go now. Thank you, Huna. Thank you,
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Huna. We'll share the link with you later, okay? Thank you, Deva.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to leave?
You have another question? Do you have one last question, or?
I do. So it's another word.
Yep.
Oahu.
Oh.
Is that easy? Is it? I think I know it, but
Go ahead.
Is it hello or something or goodbye?
Oahu. Now, listen. Do you have a feeling of how it's spelt?
Well, I just wrote it like O-WA WHO because I needed to remember the who on the end, so I wrote it like that.
Sometimes it doesn't matter, if it's if the spelling, it's really what the sound is,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of ways that is actually, even though it sounds like that, it could be Oahu in the island of Hawaii, Oahu, right? So there's no W, it's just Oahu. Okay, who. Now of or Ahu, and sometimes Ahu, just the sound Ahu, speaks to the inhale, the Ahu, the sacred. It's the sacred part of the sacred breath of Ha, but Ahu. Sorry, it's not the inhale, the exhale, Ahu.
Mm-hmm.
The release of the breath. And O means of. So another part of this is like the gift. Now, if you put the W in there and you say O Wahoo, Wahoo, who, like in Huna refers to the singularity, a single human. In other words, I or me, who, me, I, or the single person.
Mm-hmm.
Again, O refers to of, or the I am, or the me, still part of the me thing. And Wa, again, is first love. So you can take this a couple of ways, because there's a gift from the Ahu, and I am the gift of the gift of the exhale, gift of the breath. And then there is the Oahu, which is I am of love. I am of love. Who being me, being the singularity me. I am the singularity of love.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And then there's Oahu, the island of Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that helps. I hope that
thank you.
Sent you on another dream time.
Thank you.
Yet again. Thank you for
very
everything. Much. Wonderful to meet you. Thanks for following along.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again.
Thank you. You will.
There's another saying. See, we don't really say thank you or hello or goodbye. In Lemuria, we say matako. When my feet walk out of the circle, know that I am always walking towards you.
Matako.
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 Okay. So matako to you, and you are matako You are matako. When you leave the circle, you are walking towards me or us. You always return to the circle, in other words.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Wawa. Okay, sweet dear ones. That's been an action-packed, fun-filled Huna Flash TV for this Unrata on the in the Ma'ita. We are in the Ma'ita, the month. If you want to say the 13th month, then say this, Ma'ita. It is the 13th month, which means the first light inside the first stone. Ma'ita. And Lemuria, this is the omnipresent, the energies from the 29th and the 30th. And if you like, the 31st, those energies move back into the omnipresence, which is the 13th month spoken of as Ma'ita. And we just so happen to be on this final moment for the Tuatara, and certainly inside the omnipresent energy of the first light inside the first stone. Thank you so much. I want to thank Huna Tamaake and all the sweet dear ones. I want to thank Huna Katuama. It was incredible to see her after so many years, and good to see more Hunas returning to say hi. So much wawa to you all. Remember, this is the gesture. One hand up, one gifting. Okay, receiving, gifting. I leave you with this feeling. Wawanui, matako.